I felt a restlessness in my heart. And the uneasiness was forcing me to hurry. Without knowing where to go, I just kept walking, driven to continue moving forward. Then I reached my arm out to find... Huh? My eyes opened wide in astonishment. Then I finally realized that I had lost consciousness. Beyond my reach, I found an unfamiliar ceiling above me. It was too distorted to call it an ordinary room. I had never seen such a weird place before. Where am I? There was irritation behind the words my voice managed to spit out. And it wasn't because I was lying down on a cold, hard floor. Indescribable emotions that were neither anger nor despair twisted my heart. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I feel dizzy. No, it's more like pain. Having taken a deep breath to chase away these sickening feelings, I sat up. What a strange cave. There was a clock embedded in the twisted wall, and cards sprouting out from the slanted floor. It was a mysterious place, with no way of telling night or day. What was I doing here again? Who am I?
You're Alice.
What? A sudden voice struck me. I reflexively looked back and found a man standing right before me.
Good morning, Alice.
Any lingering drowsiness I may have had was instantly swept away. This man of singular beauty had such amazing deep crimson hair and eyes. I was completely lost in admiration, but calmly responded to him. "I'm not Alice," I confidently replied. After all, my name wasn't Alice. I'm Amelie Riddell. After I dug into my memories and gave him my name, he stared back at me with an obvious look of curiosity in his eyes. There was a glow of amusement and mischief in his rose-colored eyes.
Nice to meet you, Alice. I'm Joker. Joker Praise.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Braze. I sarcastically greeted this man who still called me by the wrong name. However, he did not seem to care in the least. His lips were still curled upward from ear to ear.
So, Alice, what were you so worried about? You forgot who you were, huh?
Indeed. Do you know something? You've been talking like you do.
No, nothing important. I just saw you come out from a giant mirror. You've been sleeping here ever since.
A giant mirror? I was puzzled for a moment at his words. This giant mirror sounded familiar. Oh, yeah, I did go through it. And I chose to do so of my own free will. Not fully convinced, I decided to deal with the situation. Where's the mirror? All I could see were mysterious walls. There was no mirror in sight.
I guess it's gone.
He took a quick glance and replied to me as if it were of no concern to him. I guess it wasn't his problem. I can recall nothing. All I can remember is my name and the mirror I went through.
What are you going to do, Alice?
Joker narrowed his eyes and gave me a mischievous smile.
In this situation, any other dainty, sensitive girl would have a tear-stained face painted with loneliness and confusion, right? I don't mind comforting you.
Is that so? Well, it's the thought that counts. Because I know I'm not that weak. Rather, I couldn't let myself get lost and confused because of this odd predicament. So, Joker, was it? I shall excuse myself here. I need to get going.
Where to? You don't remember anything.
Yes, that's why I've got to go. If I don't have any memories, I must go searching for my identity, desires, and hopes. I wanted to find me.
Alice, you're one tough...
I told you, my name is not Alice. You're mixing me up with someone else. I headed toward the light, trying to find myself. At the end of the cave, the dense forest spread out as far as my eyes could see. A sign was hanging from the branch of an oddly growing tree, giving me suspicious directions. What's more, the forest was cloaked in a light fog, making it almost impossible to see what was ahead. Something didn't seem right about this place either. It felt like this place shouldn't be of this world. It was a curious sensation, as if one were to wander into the land of dreams.
My Alice.
I heard a strange man calling out to me from behind. There was an oddly sweet tone to his voice. Another man besides Joker had appeared to call me this Alice person. His voice was strangely sweet, almost like he was going to whisper sweet nothings to me. It was obvious there was something peculiar about this person as well. Excuse me, but my name? I tried turning around to give him a piece of my mind. But suddenly, the man tightly wrapped his arms around me. Huh?
My Alice, I've missed you so much.
His arms were surprisingly gentle and sweet. It didn't seem like he was planning on doing anything malicious to me. Rather, it felt like he was overflowing with love and care. But... what do you think you're doing? Who are you? It was absolutely unthinkable to be suddenly embraced by a man whom I've never met before. Despite my best efforts to free myself, he did not seem to care in the slightest, and just continued to speak.
My dearest Alice, I'm Kyle.
Hello, Kyle. Now, could you get your hands off of me? I'm sorry, but I'm not your Alice. How on earth is it possible to be mistaken for someone by two strangers in such a short time? There must be someone named Alice around here who looked just like me.
Don't worry, I'm not mistaking you for someone else. You are my only Alice.
Hearing his gentle, sweet voice so close to my ear, I was starting to feel a little embarrassed. Duh, enough already. Just let me go, Kyle. I struggled to break free, however, his arms did not budge even an inch.
Why?
Because!
I've been waiting for you for so long. And now we're finally together. Can't I at least hug you a little longer?
That has nothing to do with me. I don't feel comfortable. So please, let me go! I tried forcing my way out from his arms with all my might.
It's hard to believe that a girl as cute as you can be such a tomboy.
Said in an amusing tone, his arms loosened slightly as he let out a sigh. I took the opportunity to free myself and turned around to face the stranger. For some reason, the young man had cat ears on his head and wore a strange outfit. But his unique look didn't frighten me at all. You... I let out a deep breath and gave him a cold stare. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Girls will get the wrong impression if you hug them all of a sudden. I'm not this Alice you've been waiting for. But if you don't want her to hate you, then you need to learn how to treat girls.
Real funny, my Alice.
I'm not your Alice, how many times?
I don't feel the need to learn how to treat women. Because I'm not after other women. The only one person I desire is you, Alice.
I could see what he meant. If he were after this particular Alice, it'd be pointless to generalize his behavior. She might like his uniqueness, even though many people wouldn't appreciate it. I guess that's the way he is. This man who called himself Kyle added a few more things to the discussion.
I've been waiting for you longer than anybody else. I know that for a fact. So Alice, come, leap into my arms. I'll make sure you don't regret it.
That's a hard pass for me. I flatly turned down his passionate invitation. There was nothing exciting being seduced by a guy calling you by another woman's name. But Kyle didn't seem to be disappointed. He simply snickered as if he were amused in a way. Nothing you do makes sense to me. And those cat ears of his, they're probably attached to his head. As I calmly observed him, a tail with a ribbon was swaying slowly. I guess I shouldn't call him a strange person anymore, but more like a strange cat? Excuse me, Kyle. I must go.
Alice, wait.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Do you really have somewhere you can go?
I had neither a destination nor any memories. His words bewildered me, and he looked at me as if he saw through my mind. But there was no time to stand around. I had to keep moving forward. I mustered up the nerve and began speaking my mind. I need to go find myself.
Where are you going?
My house. I'm going home. Once I got home, I'd figure out who I am.
Your house, huh?
Kyle slowly repeated what I said, and his eyes narrowed in a meaningful manner.
Do you really have a place you can call home, Alice?
What do you know about me? His expression could be considered friendly, but there was also a distinct coolness to his eyes, as if they were made from amethyst, beautiful with a somewhat mysterious glow. Kyle, if you know where I live, then I beg you, please tell me.
Don't waste your time.
A new voice cut me off as I began to ask Kyle for his help.
We're leaving.
Huh? What? As I stood there in a daze, the newcomer grabbed me by the arm and began to take me somewhere. Kyle did nothing but grin as he watched us walk away. I glanced over at the man and noticed how virile he was in appearance. He had beautiful jet black hair under his silk hat. He may have taken me away all of a sudden, but he was walking at my pace. It seemed having gentlemanly behavior was part of his nature. However... Where are we going? Are you taking me to my house?
No.
Then who are you? Don't you think your approach was a little too aggressive? As I looked at my arm, the young man appeared to be at a loss for words. He probably realized that his actions weren't polite. I guessed he had more sense than Kyle. There might be a good reason for such a well-mannered man to do something like this. It was right when he was about to tell me his name. I felt like his expression darkened in a way, almost as if he was lonely.
I'm Luke Estheim. I'm the Hatter.
You sell hats? There was something odd about him, telling me his occupation right after his name. Do you know me? Perhaps he wasn't much of a talker. After a long walk, we finally made our way out of the mysterious forest. As we reached our destination, I noticed an adorable tea party had taken place. The blooming blue roses in the hedges around us were beautiful. They were the ones Luke had. But everything felt somewhat crooked. Furthermore, the sweets and plates on the table were all over the place. Luke stopped by the table and let go of my arm before breaking the silence.
You shouldn't listen to the Cheshire Cat. He invites confusion and will just lead you astray.
The Cheshire Cat? Are you talking about Kyle? That was the only person that made sense based on what I knew. So... Luke took me away forcefully because he was cautious of Kyle? His silence let me know that my assumption was correct. I only remember my name and the mirror I went through of my own free will. So, Luke, do you know anything? If he wasn't going to talk, then I would. Sighing, I continued to speak. He might lend an ear to what I had to say, even though there was a chance he would remain silent. You know, I woke up in a strange cave. And everyone is calling me Alice here. I don't know who in the world they could be confusing me with.
They aren't confusing you with anyone.
He suddenly said with certainty, causing my eyes to waver in bewilderment. What do you mean?
Everyone is calling you Alice because that's what you decided to be.
I couldn't even ask him why. I stood motionless as a mysterious voice whispered in my mind that his words were the undeniable truth. The voice continued.
Whose Alice will you become?